Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking another look at the Lego Creator 3-in-1 called the Rotor Rescue set. This is set number 5866. It has 149 pieces, and I paid $12 for this. I got this used from a bricks and minifigs store. All the parts were there, including maybe an extra, but none of the other normal extras. And I've already done a video where I looked at the main model, this Rotor Rescue helicopter here. This set's from, I think, around 2009, 2010 era, so it's a bit old. It's not crazy old like something from the 70s or the 80s or even the 90s, but it is from over 10 years ago here. And so I talked about that a lot, but that means in this video I'm going to be taking this model apart and building one of the alternate models. Now, interesting to me, because I've really only done mainly modern Creator 3-in-1s. This is even not branded as that necessarily, but they have two alternate models here that are in the same booklet. I'm going to build the plane first and the boat second, because that's kind of the order they are in the instruction manual, and I'll have a video for each of those. And then actually this is a 4-in-1, so 3-in-1 plus 1, so there's another kind of small model that uses these pieces that the instructions for are online, so I'll be doing a little bonus kind of video for that as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So while I take this apart and while I build the plain alternate model, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review the first alternate model for this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the disassembly for the main model for this LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Rotor Rescue set, and then while we look at the build for the first alternate model, the plain model, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up, give it a like, and if you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That stuff helps me a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and I appreciate everybody that helps, so maybe consider clicking the subscribe button. This plane comes together relatively quickly. It uses probably fewer pieces than I thought it was going to, but I ended up really liking this. This feels like very vintage Lego to me, so that's really great. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so this is the first alternate model, the alternate build for this LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Rotor Rescue set. So we started off with a helicopter and we've moved down to like a, what do they call these, a biplane or something like that, but we have this plane here, and this may be even more than the helicopter set feels very like old school Lego. I hesitate to say vintage. I don't know when something officially becomes vintage. I think in like Pokemon cards, like if it's 5 years or 10 years old, or 10 or more years old, it becomes vintage. But Lego is like an older company and stuff, so I'm not really sure what qualifies as vintage, but this is over 10 years old, so at least we have that. And this feels like this could have been a set in the 80s or the 70s. Some of these pieces they may not have had, but there are elements of this in the design that feel like it could be even older than it is when it came out around 2009 or 2010. But the first thing we will look at are the leftover pieces. These are pieces that were used in the main helicopter model, but not used in the plane. So the real major notable things here, I would say, are these kind of interesting, I think these are kind of like R2-D2 bodies, or they used to be, or for droid things, and like the cone pieces, these were on the helicopter. We have an extra of another propeller there, a couple of the bigger plates, several of these. I think this is the only bracket in this set we didn't use in this model here. Rounded piece, a couple of the window pieces there. We didn't use this kind of minifigure accessory like piece, nor this one, which were both in the main model. So there are some exclusions here. Over here are the extra pieces that were in the package that I got from Bricks and Minifigs, even though they maybe shouldn't have been extras. So those are the leftover pieces. Not that many. I mean, there's not that many pieces in this set, and there are some bigger pieces. So I was pretty impressed by the helicopter's kind of footprint. It did look bigger to me than I thought it was going to be, and this is slightly bigger as well, I would say. So very cool. But you know, in Creator 3-in-1s for the alternate models, we do often have leftover pieces, and it's varying amounts. We have different things here, but then the build is this plane, and you start out by building actually the wing on the bottom. So we use 4 of these 1x12 plates that were used for the main rotor blades of the helicopter, and instead of having like a 4x12, you know, we just put all 4 of these 1x12s together. We add some extra like plates on top of that and get that all together. We add a little bit of the angled plate there to kind of make the wing. But look at all those studs there on the wing. A lot of studs. After that, we kind of add 2 of these kind of U-shaped piece with these studs on the top. We do have some studs on the side, just a little bit. We use the studs on the side bricks, kind of like this with the stud on the side brick plus the stud there. We have a couple of those back here to attach these kind of angled pieces like that. Then you build up kind of the body or the fuselage or the cockpit area using the yellow bricks that are in here. We only used 2 of the 6 kind of inverted slope pieces like this at the rear here. Then we can add the tail. You don't add all of this right at once, but I do appreciate how this is different than the like tail wing from the helicopter. It uses a couple of the same pieces, but it's not identical, which is great. We do use one of the windscreen here, so that's nice. And I kind of like this shape, the windscreen going to these slopes. We don't use 2 of these like dark translucent or trans brown, trans black bricks. There was 4 of them in the set, so there's 2 more, and they're actually just used like 1x2 bricks inside here. You can't really see them. We work on building out kind of the propeller area, which we have done up kind of like the rear propeller for the helicopter, but a little bit different. So that's actually all kind of like tiled out and finished there. It spins pretty well. So we have the Technic pin in there that is the kind of more frictionless one. We can kind of see in here, and I actually really like the look of kind of this piece coming down and these pieces coming in here. It actually looks like there's more like of an engine and more mechanical things to it that is actually like some of the studs just add details. Even the little jumper here, it kind of works. And then we have the tile back there. We have these cone pieces going up here, so that's really nice. Then we build up these kind of struts or supports or these pillars here with the black plates, the black brick with the Technic hole in it, but that's just using parts that are available in this set. And then we add on the kind of top wing, and it actually sits a little bit forward and a couple bricks up, or I think probably 3 bricks up here, from like this red one to this one roughly, or maybe from the black to, let me see here, 1 2 3, I don't know, about 3 bricks. And I do like that as well. And these, like, in many ways don't look wing-like, but in combination with everything else, it totally reads as what it's supposed to be. It's got all the parts that tells me immediately what this is. So that's very, very cool. It's not minifigure scale, neither was the helicopter, but it's like close. It's like almost there. You could potentially fit someone down in here. You might have to remove the windscreen every time, but it might be possible. Let me see if I can fit one in here. I'll just grab a random one. And it might be possible, it might not. It's kind of hard for me to say. So that's not studded down all the way. Now it is, I believe. So we could have this pilot in there. They can't really see. They have to lean back a little bit, and you do have to take the windscreen off to get that. But it's almost there. The minifigure's a little big compared to the rest of the model here, but still kind of nice to know that for play, if it helps people play and whatever. The inside is like tiled out in there, which is nice. And that's kind of everything. This comes together pretty quick, and I don't know how many pieces are probably in here, maybe over 100 if there's maybe 50 or less kind of the leftover pieces. So it uses a majority of the pieces, probably 2/3 or 3/4 or something like that, which is nice. We do use some of the cheese wedges, a little bit of tiling out detail up top, but also helps to like lock these pieces together there. And then we have those vented slopes. I did like how the kind of pillars here also use these cone pieces there as an extra another support back there, but you can kind of miss those, or you might not see those immediately, but that's very, very nice. And I'm just really full of, I don't even know how to express this, like glee and joy to see like we just add a couple 2x2 plates on the end of this, 2x6, and that extends the wings out a little bit. And that feels so like old school Lego. Like these pieces are not locked down in any real way. They could easily pop off, but it feels like this is a design that, people could come up with, rather than like the super insane designs that we see from Lego designers today. And I think that's really, really fun to kind of go back and look at that. That's one of the like great joys of having a set that's from a different time, to see just how much things have changed. And I think this is a great example of it, maybe even more so than the helicopter, just because the sheer amount of visible studs. I think the color blocking is okay. It doesn't make as much sense to me. I could easily see this still being a rescue vehicle with the red and yellow, and that's fine. There's no landing gear, so nothing to land on like water, no wheels to land on land. Not a big deal. It can sit down there very good. Super swooshable and relatively solidly built. I wouldn't be too worried about pieces being knocked off, except for like maybe some stuff, the subassembly for here, but it is studded down on 3 studs. These, 2x2s on the end for the tail wing, maybe some other things up front, but for the most part, I feel like it's pretty well put together. And this is really, really neat. It's smaller, as far as the footprint goes. They had on the helicopter for the blades, these kind of end to end plus an extra stud space in between, and then they also had these kind of big plates end to end for the whole tail as well as the body of the thing. So this is a good amount smaller. We do have some of the couple bigger plates left over here, these 2x12s or 10s there, and so that's kind of interesting. And I don't think there's anything too crazy that they missed out on here. I don't know if it would make sense to have kind of engines anywhere on this that maybe you could use this for, when it's kind of what do they call these, like a prop plane or something like that, or just a small like single engine kind of propeller at the front type plane. So that is all good to me, and I think this was a fun little build. It came together very fast, and I like it. As far as value goes, I paid $12 for this set. It retailed for $13 in the aughts, in the 2009 to 2010, probably through its retiring date, which I believe was 2012 or 2013 or something like that, and it was probably about $13 that whole time. I paid $12 for it. It was used, it wasn't sealed, but it did have all the pieces, did have the instruction manuals, and so I feel fine about that. It's old Lego, it's retired Lego. It's a set that I may have seen back in the day, but I haven't seen in a while. And when I saw it at the Bricks and Minifigs store I was at, I thought this was good. I know I talked about value in the main video for the main model for the Rotor Rescue helicopter, and sort of looked at people selling this set on the aftermarket. I think there was some sealed ones in the US that were in the $20-$25 range. I think there were some used ones in the US for less than $10, and that's fine. Some of the listings I saw seemed to indicate that the pieces were in rough shape and whatever else. And so I don't mind paying, the $12 for this, considering I might pay $7 plus shipping to get this sent to me. So I was happy to get it from the Bricks and Minifigs, and I think the value here is fine. With Creator 3-in-1s, I always get a little extra value. I get more time with the pieces. The designers spent, more time working on these set. Well, they would have spent more time working on the set and the alternate builds rather than just putting it out with just the main build and nothing else. And so I think there's value in that. I certainly get a lot of value out of, recording videos for the different models and spending time with the pieces, spending time with the models, and taking a look at everything. So I definitely take that into consideration, and I think $12 for me for this set was fair. As far as this model goes, it might be a $10 model, might be a little less. It's not, and it's probably a little even big for a lot of things that come in like $10 boxes for Lego sets in 2024. So it feels about on par, which is good. And I still have 2 more models to build. So I will take that into consideration as well and say, I think the value that I paid for this was very fair and even pretty good, which is very cool. We talked about the leftover pieces. Here are the couple extra pieces that were in the kind of box of the package that I got that were not used in the main model, which is just a 1x1 gray stud and a 2x2 red plate there. And those this typically wouldn't be an extra piece that would come in a Lego set, and I'm missing a bunch of other like little pieces that would typically come in like a 2024 Lego set as an extra piece when they're filling the bags based on weight. They usually, for like tiny pieces that don't weigh much, they'll the machines put an extra one in to make sure that it registers and that they get all those little pieces in there. And it's also helpful because little pieces can go missing easier. So there's a whole kind of philosophy behind that. And this, because it was used and whatever, didn't come with many of those as far as I can tell. But we did get this extra one, which is a little bit fine. I mean, it's a perfectly usable piece. So I'm not too worried about that, and I think that's everything. So now that I've looked at this, I'm really excited to look at the boat. Kind of some of this brick built engines type stuff at the back looked really interesting to me. It's a cool shape for like a speedboat, and then there's the 4th alternate build as well, which is a different kind of boat, and I'm kind of looking forward to all of those. So I'll be covering those in a video that comes out after this one. And if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on those and the build process for those, maybe consider subscribing and you'll be in the loop on when those videos come out. It should be shortly after this one does and shortly after the main helicopter model does. And I think that's it. Those are my thoughts. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including at least 2 more videos for this Lego Creator 3-in-1 Rotor Rescue for the boat and the other boat here. So we have 2 air-faring vehicles and 2 water-faring vehicles all in this set, and so I'll be covering those, but then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, old sets, new sets, retired sets, used sets, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming Lego videos. And we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're kind of on the road to 940 and then to 950 and then beyond. And I would love to get there. So if you like my stuff, maybe consider subscribing. It's free and it means a lot to me and it helps. So I appreciate it. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way, you could do that here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. Those things really help as well, so maybe consider checking those things out if you're interested. And I'm just very, very grateful to anybody who watches, likes, comments, subscribes, checks out some of the other kind of things I do, and it just means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks, bye.